used to watch this perfect couple. It's like the kind of love you always want. And then she betrayed him.
This woman, she's gone missing.
I saw her from the train.
Can you tell me where you were Friday night?
There's some time missing.
I need you to stay away.
I was just trying to help.
Did you murder Megan Hipwell?
What happened that night?
And action.
I play Rachel, and when you meet her, she's riding the train to work every day. This is a commute she does into the city every day. We are led to believe that she works in public relations, and as the onion unravels, you quickly realize she has a severe drinking problem. And she has an obsession with this couple that she sees every day from the train. She goes past their house. They live 2 doors down from the house she used to share with her husband before they broke up, due to her alcoholism.
It's not your classic, obviously, hero. It's someone who is sort of stumbling through life, living in shame, you know, of her drinking, you know, and having to cover that at times, and also, you know, being compelled / obsessed with these people's lives who she really doesn't even know.
It's a woman who is living a life that she dreams of and not really feeling that she can control it. And wanting so hard to have this perfect life, and she will do anything to have an exterior of perfection.
I think she's a victim of her own idealism or views of it, of an idyllic life, which we all can relate to. You've got it all planned out, right? And she was gonna marry the perfect man, have 1, if not 4 children, live on the river. And a lot of times when you hold on to this idyllic setting that you're trying to create and it does not go as planned, it's often hard to accept that.
She finds a lot of comfort and solace in this couple that she obsesses over, and they seem like the perfect couple, the match made in heaven.
In Rachel's head, these 2 characters have what she's always wanted, what she's always dreamed of. And in reality, you know, Megan is in a very unhappy marriage, and she's living in the suburbs as a social outcast, and she's very lonely, and she becomes sort of restless and reckless.
I actually miss being the other woman. Did you enjoy cheating on Rachel?
Seriously? We not fixate on her?
I saw her again today.
Where?
This afternoon, when the police brought Scott back home, she was across the street. And when she saw me, she got aggressive.
Aggressive how?
What if Rachel killed Megan?
Rachel did not kill Megan.
She interprets this life of 2 people living happy, Megan and Scott, or she builds an idea of what it's like between Anna and Tom, and we sometimes don't even know half of it. But it becomes her real life. Equally, as Anna has no idea what's happening in Rachel's life, will build up a threat that we don't know is actually a correct threat or not. We'd have no idea. But we go so intensely into all of these people's fantasies, and that becomes a reality.
And action!
Rachel, what are you doing? Give it to me. Give me my baby.
The story is about these women going through their everyday lives, just thinking about, you know, is the grass always greener? Honestly, dealing with life and daydreaming and thinking, what if? I find that when it's a story about people who are kind of struggling with different kind of everyday things, there's just something to relate to.
I just like the idea of that kind of storytelling, where it's that sort of backward storytelling where, you know, the edges of the frame are very blurry in a lot of respects. And that was something that I thought was fascinating.
All the 6 characters in the film were all related. And I think that somehow we all know each other. We know so much about each other without not actually knowing each other, having met personally. And that I find fascinating.
It's sort of like peeling back the layers slowly, and each layer doesn't make it more obvious, it makes it more complex. And so I guess that's the challenge with the role for me, was to not give away too much too early, and try and get the audience on side and sort of make them question who they want to believe, because for the most of the part of the story, you have to choose who you want to believe. You don't really know the story. You don't know the facts.
Admit that you never even met my wife. The detective said you didn't even know Megan. She used other words too. Alcoholic, maybe even mentally unstable.
I'm sorry, I was honestly just trying to help you.
You're Tom's crazy ex.
Scott Hipwell, Megan's husband, he's a possessive, controlling, it always comes back to control guy who has this, in many ways, Megan is this tigress, and he's trying to catch this tiger by the tail. She's everything he thinks he wants, but she's many things other than just one thing. So it's again about control. What happens when you can't control this wild animal?
He's very lost. He loves his wife, and they had a very tempestuous relationship, and they weren't agreeing on some very fundamental things that a couple should agree on. And they argued a lot. And I think that night that she goes missing, they have a very big argument, and he's tormented by it. He's tortured by this. He keeps reliving it in his mind.
Well, you're gonna tell me that, huh? And now the detective is asking if you and I are in a relationship? You? I would never even get near someone like you. My wife is dead, and you're lying to me. What's wrong with you?
I would hope that people find the humanity in this character and see themselves in her shoes, and her intentions are actually good, however skewed her perspective might be due to either the fact that she's drunk or that she's damaged, but that her intentions are coming from a place that is good. And I always felt that about her, that she was just lost, just desperately lost.
I lied to Scott. I lied to you. I know that's not the point of therapy, but I have to keep things vague. Jumble up all the men, the exes, the lovers. It doesn't matter who they are. It matters how they make me feel.
Kamal is he's a psychiatrist, and he's a man of very few words. He wants to help people, but I think that he has an obsession for storytelling. I think that he loves to listen to people and listen to these women because he's also fascinated or a little turned on by their despair. There's something there.
Lying is like taking a trip. It's like having a secret that no one else knows.
You start to see that there's fissures in what is supposed to be a rock, which is the patient-doctor relationship. And he has many fissures, and you can't quite figure out what his motivations are. So, of course, that makes anybody in a patient and professional situation, if it's not being played out to the T, you automatically start to wonder what the motive is there.
I really wanted a baby. We tried everything and nothing worked. And it just absolutely... it just broke my heart, and so it got really sad. And then the booze just broke us.
Why are we really here, Rachel?
Because I'm afraid of myself.
I feel like the character was always a big draw for me because I had never gone, I guess, that deep with something. And I knew that I was terrified to play her, and I think that's always a good sign for me if I'm just sort of racked with terror, that it would mean that I would be challenged in every way possible. And I think once the script really took on a very powerful form, and I could see it visually, I could see how this could work as a film, I think that's when I got really excited.
There's something instantly accessible and relatable about Emily and all the characters she plays. She just feels like the girl next door. She feels like somebody we know and somebody we're comfortable with. And she can, with very little words, really with her body language and her eyes and the soul that she carries inside, sort of spill forth evoke a sense of empathy for her, regardless of the character she's playing, which was really critical in portraying Rachel, an alcoholic, someone who isn't very pleasant, who is stalking her ex-husband, who is very aggressive at times, and who may have in fact committed a terrible crime.
I saw someone with Megan Hipwell, but not on Friday night. She was having an affair. She had a lover. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I thought you didn't know her.
No, but I saw her.
You saw her where?
I saw her from the train. She was standing on the deck with this man.
With her husband, Scott Hipwell?
No, it wasn't him. This man was different, and they were kissing.
Wow, that's pretty coincidental, isn't it? You just happened to be on a train at the same exact moment that a woman you don't know but somehow recognize is cheating on her husband?
I know it sounds crazy.
Neighbors saw a drunk woman in the vicinity of her house Friday night. Megan Hipwell does bear a resemblance to Anna Watson. Mrs. Watson reported that you go to their house sometimes uninvited, and that on one occasion you actually broke in and took their child.
In the book, the chief detective was Detective Riley, who was a man. And he had a female sidekick who was Gaskell, Detective Gaskell, who didn't say much. And I just thought this is such an interesting story about women, and the idea of having a bully detective be a man just felt a little easy, something we've seen before. But this is about how women treat each other and the cause and effect of women's choices on one another. So I thought it would be really interesting to have the chief detective be a woman trying to crack the story of these three women. And then to make a man be her sidekick. I thought that was fun.
You're not going to know who done it till the end, and you'll be. It's just such a great, shocking, and it's. People are going to. The worst thing is going to be spoiler alerts. People are going to find out, and I'm just really excited to be part of it.
Your wife hit me on Friday night.
What are you talking about?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And then she got in your car.
No. She said you yelled at her.
No, that is not what happened. She was in the tunnel and she hit me.
I don't want to argue in the street. In the middle of the day and you're drunk.
Look, I'm not drunk, Tom.
My wife is scared of you.
Of what?
I don't even know if that's a joke or not. Let's start with child abduction.
That's not how it happened.
You and I both know what you're capable of.
I was aware that there was this tsunami of interest in a book. And I read it in 2 days, which is just always an amazing sign for a thriller, that you can't put it down, that it is such a page turner.
Well, what's so interesting here is that Paula wrote a great yarn, a great story, great characters, a great thriller. We developed it as a film before it ever became a bestseller, and we woke up one morning and, oh my gosh, the book exploded. So sort of win-win all around. To us, the fact that the readership exploded and the book became so extraordinarily successful, so fast, by the way, I think gave us even more reason to want to make sure, as the initial creator and as the guardian of that great readership, that we had Paula's input, her comments, her thoughts. It was a very happy collaboration.
The book is all stream of consciousness, and so you're sort of in the minds or in the diaries of all three women. And it wasn't that I related with any one. They all have such different perspectives. I think that there is a little part of each of these characters in all of us.
I'm here because I because I woke up covered in blood. And I had bruises all over my arm, and it's usually from when I've fallen and someone's helped me up. My husband, he used to tell me what I'd done the night before. And I learned when you wake up like that, you just say you're sorry. You just say you're sorry for what you did, and you're sorry for who you are. And you're never gonna do it again. But you do. You do it again.
Hey, here we go. Pictures up.
Well, Tate has a really good way of keeping the set really light, you know, and I think that I probably needed that with this very heavy role, is for someone who wasn't going to straitjacket me and, you know, be too dictatorial about it. I think that he gives you a lot of freedom, a lot of creative freedom.
Tate came in with a real understanding of the frailty and the imperfections of these characters and these women.
And action.
A real talent and ability to get inside characters, particularly female characters, and to make them real and full-bodied and complicated and complex.
Tate is an actor, so he understands very well where you come from in a scene, because he can establish a direct empathy with you, and that is a great advantage.
To feel like I can have a say and have a voice and be heard and appreciated, and so that was cool, you know, with this, certainly with this kind of role, to feel that I had that room.
I loved to work with Tate because he's very collaborative in the way he works. He likes everyone to put in what they think, but get their sense of how they like to work and what they think is important, and I think it's a really great way to work.
Everybody has been on a train and wondered about the lives of the people who are on the train with them, or the lives of the people in the houses outside of it. I think we all have a sense of voyeurism in us and wonder about it. And I used to do it all the time. I used to take the train every day and look at people and wonder what the stories of their lives were and what happened to them that morning.
There's that voyeuristic quality, you know, that you know, if the train is going slow enough, or if you're at a crossroads, you know, where you can actually just sort of sit there and gaze into people's homes. And there's something about looking into people's, it's oftentimes their backyards, which is almost more invasive in a way, because you're sort of literally seeing their dirty laundry hanging out in the back. And I've done that every time I'm on a train, or, you know, or if you're in a new country or whatever, you know. And also, you can't help but sort of project yourself into their lives.
I think that's why this book has had this mass appeal, because we've all done it. We have all thought those things.
We're all flawed, and I think that after seeing this film, flawed will be the new normal.
And I think what's interesting about the female protagonist is there's something so recognizable in these women, and particularly in their imperfections, whether you're a man or a woman.
I really want you to walk away with a thought about the human condition. Take away something that you can relate to, that one or many of the characters have come to realize themselves. That's why I was so excited to come on board with a movie that's in the thriller genre, where you can also walk away thinking about life.
I definitely think people will be examining their lives in a different way after seeing this movie.